Hey guys, Ronnie the Realtor here, and we're going to talk about another topic today that I just find really interesting when it comes to investing. So we'll just dive right into it. A lot of times when I hear people talking about rent houses and things like that, they talk about how they get frustrated and how they quit and how they just didn't enjoy it and how they didn't feel like it was a good investment. And so I thought I would talk on this video about some of the reasons why people buy rental properties and then they quit. The first reason people get discouraged with the rental business or with investing in property is when they get tenants for a house, they don't do a good job of screening. The tenants are, maybe bad about paying rent, or maybe they don't respect the property, maybe they don't keep it in good repair, or they don't call when things break. They get bad tenants, and then when the landlord finally gets those tenants out, then they're just so discouraged with the rental business that they just decide to hang it up and quit. So that's one big reason why people quit. So if you're going to get into the rental business, I would strongly recommend screening your tenants. And what that means is run background checks, run credit checks, ask for references, call the references, spend time with the tenants, talk to them, get to know them a little bit. Make sure that the person you're putting in your house is someone that you want living in your house. You do have a say in the matter. Now, I will say that and say this as well. There are fair housing laws that we all must abide by. And so you need to make sure that you're following those. If you're going to screen tenants, you have to screen them all the same way. You have to, if one person has to do a background check, everyone's got to do a background check. So be really careful about how you screen tenants, but do screen your tenants. That brings me to my second reason of why people get discouraged when they're buying and renting out properties. They don't do routine property checks and they don't perform routine maintenance on the properties. So a lot of people, when they own rental property, they'll go and check on the property. They'll maybe change the air filter out once a month or whatever. And tenants don't usually mind you doing this. It's just good to give them notice. So you go check on the property, walk around it, make sure nothing's broken. Tenants are not actively looking at the property to see if things are messed up. Now, if a water line breaks and it starts flooding the house, obviously, yeah, they're going to call you. But if there's some wood rot that's starting to happen on your soffit and fascia on the outside of the house, chances are the tenants aren't going to say anything about that. It's up to you as the landlord to find those things and fix them. Now, the reason that people can get discouraged and quit over this is that they let those things go, and then all of a sudden, what could have been a simple fix with some touch-up paint on rotting wood or whatever, or wood that is exposed, rather. Rotting paint won't fix rotting wood, but what could have been fixed with some simple paint on exposed wood is now a rotting wood situation, and it's gone from a really cheap, easy, inexpensive repair to something that's a little more difficult to do and a little more expensive. Or maybe they don't have the AC checked out and the coils get dirty and it causes the thing to freeze up and the AC's ruined. Anything like that can get really expensive, can eat up your returns and cause you to want to quit real estate investing. The third reason that people get discouraged with real estate investing and decide to quit is they don't fully invest themselves in buying rent properties. When you're doing any kind of investment, you've got to be committed to it. You have to have a plan, you have to execute that plan, and you got to stick with it. And generally that means some sort of systematic investing. For those of you who do stock markets or index funds, you might use a system called dollar cost averaging. I'm a big advocate of using that same system for real estate investing. If your goal is to buy one house every 5 years, then stick to that goal. Buy one house every 5 years. If your goal is to buy two houses every year, try your best to stick to that goal. Buy two houses every year. The people, though, who get discouraged are the ones who buy like one rent house. They have one rent house. And there's a lot of problems that you run into with just having one rent house. The biggest problem is that when that property goes vacant, well, 100% of your income is gone. You have no income anymore. And now you've got a house note to make and no way to cover it other than pulling money out of what you've made or out of your own pocket or selling the property. None of those are good solutions. So if you're going to be a real estate investor, then be a real estate investor. Buy more than one property. This way, if you have say 5 properties, one of them goes vacant, well, now you're at 20% vacancy. And the 4 other properties can very easily cover the payment for the vacant property until you're able to find a tenant. Now, is that the thing you want to have happen? Absolutely not. But if you have a larger pool of properties, the risk is spread out and things are more tolerable when they do go wrong. If a repair happens, a major repair, you get to spread the risk out. So people who just have 1 rental property or maybe even 2 tend to get discouraged and want to sell out sooner than somebody who maybe has 5 or 10 properties. Plus, when you have more properties like that, you'll see a bigger income stream coming in, and that's a good reason to want to stay in it. The 4th and final reason that people quit real estate investing is that they have unrealistic expectations. They have an unrealistic view of what they should get out of a property investment. If you watch my last video, I talk about the returns that you can expect on a rental property and what makes a good deal, and I'll link that video right up here. It's hard to find my finger there. I'll link that video right up there where you can watch it. The return that I usually try to shoot for at minimum is $200 a month. Now that's not a lot of money, especially if you have some sort of an unexpected repair or an expense that you didn't plan on. Well, that's easy to spend $200 really, really fast. So if you're going to be a property investor, you've got to have realistic expectations about what you're going to make. You've got to be in it for the long haul. You've got to look at it like a long-term investment. Just like any other investment, you're not going to get rich really fast. Investing in the stock market, investing in bonds, investing in gold, Bitcoin, whatever it is, very seldom do you get rich like really, really fast unless you're just really lucky, okay? And real estate's no exception. It's a forgiving asset class. It lends itself well to a long-term strategy of buying property, holding on to it, renting it out, paying it down, building equity, and then as you get older, maybe divesting in the properties or moving into multifamily properties or whatever, and that's another topic for another video, exit strategies. But you've got to have realistic expectations. So I hope you guys found this video helpful. If you did, I would really appreciate it if you would click subscribe and click the bell so that you don't miss any future notifications about new videos. Also, if you have anything to add to this video, if you know of a reason maybe why people quit real estate investing, drop it in the comments. I'd love to start a discussion down there about why people quit real estate investing. And if you have anything at all to add, whether it's good, bad, whatever, drop a comment below and let me know what you think. Otherwise, hope you guys are staying safe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye for now.